I'm busy.
So there's no video recording on the property. Okay.
Who says?
Yeah, IndyGo policies and procedures.
Well, you need to go reread it.
Yeah, so it's a memorandum that came out effective as
Since
the 13th.
when?
There's no
Since when?
video recording on the property. IndyGo is dedicated to the
date of what?
confidentiality and the privacy of their
The date of what?
employees and their bus passengers. You can stand
You're
over there
lucky
where
that
the
I don't
smokers
have the
stand.
policy with me.
You can stand
I
on the
talk-
sidewalk and video record.
Ma'am,
So unless you obtain prior
Goodbye.
unless you obtain prior consent from a
I
human
have
resource
consent.
manager, okay, you need to
I
provide
have
that.
consent from the VP of Public Affairs.
Okay, so
That
the
sent me
consent,
your policy.
yeah, the consent in order to be able to video has to come from the human
That's only
resource.
commercial, ma'am.
No,
That's only commercial.
absolutely not. So
Goodbye.
I just
Have a
physically
nice
read
day.
the memorandum. You're not allowed to video
Have a
record
nice day,
on this
ma'am.
property. Okay,
Have a
so
nice
that's
day.
absolutely-
I've already
Yeah,
talked
you
to
have
the
to obtain
Public
prior
Affairs.
consent
I've
to
already
be
talked
able
to Public
to
Affairs.
video. Yeah, so the policies and the procedures,
That is
they went into
commercial,
effect on
ma'am.
the 13th.
That is commercial.
Nope, this is what we were just told. So you guys actually are allowed to be here. It's good to see you.
Goodbye.
Oh, we are allowed to be here.
We're gonna
Yeah, but you
continue the
cannot video record via
Yes, ma'am.
iPad, cell phone,
need to
audio.
direct us.
You are not allowed
Goodbye.
to physically video record.
Goodbye. Well, this is a public transit. Goodbye.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, you
Hey,
got it?
can I talk to you guys for a second?
No thanks.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. I don't care. I have already talked to the
And he
VP.
sent us the policy.
Well, he's.
Okay, unless
It's
you've been
just a
given
standing
consent.
policy that they have down here.
Would you like me to pull up the policy?
I have the
No,
policy.
we have it as well.
You can
Yeah.
do whatever you
Then
want.
go get it and
We've
look
got
at
the
it.
policy.
You're talking commercial.
So-
This is not commercial. This is personal.
This is private property.
No, it's. Are you kidding me?
This is
You
private
get
property.
$170
This
million from the city and taxpayers. You're not
Yeah,
private.
but this is private
Absolutely.
property.
No, it's not.
It really is, though.
I talked to the VP of
Well,
Public Affairs.
That's fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
Then I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not asking you to go.
Goodbye.
You guys can stand over there and video record, but you cannot be on property. We
This
were
is property.
instructed.
This
so,
is public property.
you know, we're all at
This
work
is
right now,
IndyGo
so we were
property. That
instructed
over
that,
there is
yeah,
public.
unless you've obtained prior consent from the human
That
resource
is
manager,
commercial.
you are absolutely not
That
allowed
is
to
commercial,
do
ma'am.
video recording, auto recording, body camera from an iPad, a cell phone. You absolutely cannot be here video recording. No way.
That's too bad. What do you? Okay, so what happens if we don't? Listen. What happens?
Last time we were here.
So you're just going to walk
This
away?
is public property.
If you're security, if you're NOLAN security, right? You're NOLAN security. You guys are on notice of a federal lawsuit for what happened on the 8th when we were here.
We weren't here.
You're right,
Two
and
other
because
officers
that
that
guy's
was not-
going to be fired, and you probably know exactly why we're here.
That's that guy.
What happened on the 8th?
We were here before, and we were kicked off and
kicked
cussed
off.
at and everything.
And again, we called IndyGo and they said
Who cussed at you guys?
should never
NOLAN
happen.
security. He wouldn't identify himself. Your resource or your reserve officer wouldn't identify himself.
White guy,
He's in trouble.
buzz cut. We
Yeah.
didn't get his name. He wouldn't give us his name.
And a
but-
Mexican kid.
What group?
Doesn't matter what group we're with. You don't have any right to know that.
No, we don't have any right to know.
You're right. Yeah. What right do you have to know? What's your name and badge number?
What's your name and badge number?
That's none of your business. I'm a
Okay,
private
then
citizen.
it's
You're
none
a,
of
you're a public servant.
refusing to identify yourself?
You're a public
You
servant.
can read my name tag.
No, it's covered by a pen. I can't see
DM
it.
Watkins. But what's your ID number?
Your policy is identify
I'm
yourself,
the only
right?
one on the park. You can't get me.
So, the reason we came back was because we talked to your guys' bosses, their bosses, and they said it was okay to come back.
They're doing damage control right now to avoid a federal lawsuit against me.
I
From
just
me.
got off the phone with Lieutenant Dora.
IndyGo.
IndyGo.
Administration.
About an hour ago.
Public affairs. I keep trying to tell you, and you don't
And-
want to listen.
No, I'm listening to you.
No, you said you just said you
I'm
didn't
not-
care
I'm
I'm
just
not
wondering why you're approaching.
that we talked to the higher ups.
about the policy.
I
Yes.
The
Why
policy
you're
is void. I have
Okay,
the policy.
and I've got the policy too, but
The
we're not
policy.
arguing about
The
that.
policy,
Sir,
sir.
we're
No,
not gonna
the
argue.
policy.
This has nothing to do with the policy. I'm
So
asking,
Then why
we're
are you
done.
bringing
Let's
it
just
up?
go ahead and go on
Asking
and do what we're doing.
I am asking you, the damage control, is that between you and IndyGo or you and NOLAN?
It's
Both.
actually probably going to be between both.
And this is something that occurred before
April.
the 8th or on the 8th?
On the 8th.
On the 8th of April?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you had a policy come down on the 13th, they should have said that it is perfectly legal to do what we're doing right now.
I wasn't here on the 8th.
But no, and that's
no,
fine.
we didn't see
It
either one
wasn't.
of you gentlemen.
None of you guys were
I'm
here.
not
Debbie Ellis,
a,
Debbie Ellis, what do you do at the sheriff's office?
I'm a patrol officer.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
They tried to kick me off of the public easement out there.
Yeah, this is public property, and I'll tell you how you guys can find out. It's a municipal corporation. The mayor of Indianapolis and the city council elect the board, the governors, the board of governors here. Okay, if it was a
They
private
appoint them.
corporation, then the mayor and the city council wouldn't be able to tell who would be the board members here. It's 100% public, it's publicly funded, okay? And as everybody knows, we have a First Amendment right to come out here and videotape matters of public interest. Now, with the COVID virus thing going on here, I'm actually up from Florida. I'm a reporter from Florida, okay? So I came up here specifically to video the COVID crisis in Indiana, how public transportation, how public facilities and businesses, I also go by businesses, like a big Walmart distribution center up in Auburn, up there by Fort Wayne. I was up there last week. So we're figuring out the ebb and flow, we're figuring out how everything is moving in this crisis time. And again, like I said, we came here the 8th, we had some problems. We immediately went ahead, called IndyGo. He called Lieutenant, was it NOLAN? I don't know, he's talking. He called the lieutenant just an hour ago for the reserve deputy that was here. And
he refused to identify himself, so he's going to be in trouble for that.
Is he not wearing any nameplates or anything?
No.
He wasn't.
Absolutely not.
He was a reserve guy too, or something.
Yeah, he was a reserve.
So,
Barry, what was that officer's name that was here the other day?
Let's take these guys down
What was
here
the
and talk
officer's
to
name that was here the other day?
I mean, if
It was
they
another
just
officer,
here trying
Watkins,
to.
Officer Paul Watkins.
Guys,
Paul Watkins.
That's all.
I just want to talk to you away from them because
Away from who?
Security.
the ones that are over there talking, trying to get you guys in.
What is?
So here's my
What's the
thing.
difference between 20 feet to here to there?
Well,
Okay,
he's
well,
trying, he's trying to get us away from them because they're trying to amp us up. And,
Because I
amp
want
up
I
the
want your
situation.
guys' focus and your guys' attention. Okay.
Okay.
So here's my thing. Dude, just stop all that. Okay. This is just us
No,
talking,
we can't
okay?
stop it when you come up and tell us that we can't do something that we're
Okay,
constitutionally
you're trying
protected
to get
to
me
do.
to say something, try to get me to do
No,
it.
sir,
It's not going
you
to happen.
already
Just,
said it.
Just listen to me.
You
okay?
already said it.
Listen to me.
I will hear what you have to
Listen
say.
to
I'm
me.
not a child. I don't
Okay.
have to listen to
Awesome.
you.
Listen to me then. I don't care if you guys film. You guys can do whatever you want.
Thank
I don't
you.
care. Okay.
Thank you.
It doesn't pertain to us. You guys haven't broken any laws.
Right.
I'm not going to come up and tell you that you can't walk inside while the building's closed.
No, we,
You
we're
guys
not
can walk
going in the
around wherever
building.
you want. You guys can film whatever you want.
It's a
okay?
public area. It's open. It's totally open.
But the second that somebody starts feeling that you're in their personal space, obviously, if this gentleman's sitting here reading, you guys want to walk up to him and get all in his face with all these cameras and start doing
We're
that
not doing
stuff.
that.
Now that's going to become
If
an
you
issue,
see us doing
okay?
that, you
If
won't
you guys
see us
keep
doing
your distance. I don't care what you guys do.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I also, okay, since you've given us that great advice, I've got something for you.
Yes, sir.
Don't run with scissors because you might get impaled. Don't sleep with your partner's wife.
One.
Don't kick your dog.
Who even runs with scissors anyway?
There's
Many,
people.
many, there's
Don't-
people that
don't
do.
kick your neighbor's
You'll be
dog.
surprised.
Don't eat yellow
Don't
snow.
eat yellow snow. That's really not good for you.
Any of you guys have scissors in your pocket now?
And I meant
No disrespect to you. I just
Don't-
when people come at me,
I mean, when you-
they
don't
can
play,
say
yeah, I
don't
mean,
play
when they,
with your don't play with your firearms.
See, I said when you told me what you was here for.
Hey, let's go ahead and
Just
get our
when
video
you
and
said
get
what
out of here.
when
guys.
you
Just
said-
wanted to give you
I understand when you said
giving us such
you
good
guys-
advice.
you
I
said
thought
what
I'd
you was
give
here
you
for,
legal.
my attitude
Thank
changed.
you. Thank you, guys. You have a great day, okay?
You as
Stay
well.
safe from
YouTube
the
channel,
corona.
You as
Hoosier
well.
News Now, and you can see it.
Yeah, so I said, as soon as
It'll
you
say-
said what
it'll
you were
say
here
IndyGo.
for, you tracking the COVID.
Well,
I ain't
when
got
we
no-
came here last Saturday, it was, or last Wednesday, it was on the 8th. It was to show the positive of IndyGo not charging fees for bus fare and still running.
So,
They turned it into a negative, so it went on my negative page on YouTube.
so who? So on the 8th, it was. They just told you basically just to leave.
oh, they
That
didn't
was
just
been
tell
last
us.
Wednesday. That's been the day before.
They didn't
Brianna
just tell
passed
us.
away.
They were ordering. They were approaching. Very aggressive. NOLAN security was very aggressive with me. The staff here, supervisors were calling me sad because I was filming in public.
Sad.
Sad. You're very sad. You're sad. Oh yeah, and oh, you need to take your cop watch BS and go somewhere else. And we weren't doing anything to do with cop watch. It was just, oh yeah, it was like I was telling him, if you want to see the video, go to my Hoosier News Now on YouTube and you'll see it. It's got 20,000 hits.
I mean, here's my thing. I mean, you've got rights. Everybody's got rights.
Sure. But unless we cause a disturbance, we can't be asked to
I'm
leave.
not one to take away a right from somebody as far as personal filming. Now, there's a difference. If,
Two of us are carrying, by the way, just to
There's-
let you know.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
There's a difference between coming down here and filming whether or not you are with some cop watch and you're trying to get the negative of police, or you're trying to get the negative of the environment. There's a difference between that, pulling out your phone and recording a YouTube video, and then there's a difference of coming down here, which is what I believe the policy is actually written on.
Commercial.
Is coming through and, you know, taking videos of the buses, taking videos of bus routes, taking videos of, you know, how the buses are set up.
But sir, that's public. It's all public.
But
they are paid for by tax dollars.
You're right.
They're supposed to give 10%. They're supposed to give 10% of their cost in donations. IndyGo's only done $35,000.
I understand that. So
but they've gotten 170 million.
Just regardless if it's public or not, okay?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is there's regulations set up by government officials that are way higher than myself and this officer right here, okay?
Sure.
So when they come through and they have, you know, video cameras that are going underneath buses to see where wires run, which I understand you guys aren't doing that. But I believe that's why a policy is written as far as no recording, because in the past, if you look at some of these places where they've had some terroristic threats, where they've had buses explode, stuff like that, these people are researching the buses. Hey, where's a large metal object underneath the bus that we can put a magnet at? And so that's why you've got people, especially like at Lucas Oil, when the Colts come in, or like when the Bengals or whoever's playing at Lucas Oil, they actually have this long stick that's got a mirror on it, and they'll walk around the bus and shine underneath the bus
prisons or anything
just
like
to make sure that there's
but
not a bomb or anything on the bus.
Those are only hypothetical.
But that's why the policy of no recording on IndyGo property, I believe, is set in place.
Sir, you're not understanding, and they're not understanding the policy
I understand.
The policy states that we can.
The policy is black and white. It's put right in there. But I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying I'm wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm telling you that is my opinion on why they put that policy in place.
And
so you guys are still able to do whatever you want to do. I'm not telling you can't. That's just my opinion on why I think that they're so harping on, or that's why I think that they're so uptight on not wanting people, anybody in general, to report, whether it be RTV6, Fox 59 News, whatever group you guys are with.
And if I could just interject, gentlemen, real quick with some experience,
because
I'll tell you, I'm from Florida. I went down to the port in Tampa where they do the cruises. Okay, I got arrested there. I went there one time. They kicked me out. I went back there the second time. Had my lawyer with me. Watched the whole thing. They arrested me. I wouldn't leave the property. Now, they had a policy against no filming there, but policy never trumps law, okay? Law is law, and the law is the public, the press, have a right to gather information on public property about what public officials do. That's the law, okay? So anytime they create a policy like the port did and say I can't record, and I know the law and I go on there and they arrest me, guess what happened to that charge? Dismissed. Guess what's coming next? Federal lawsuit for violating my rights. So just because somebody has a policy in place doesn't mean it's lawful. Okay, there's lots of policies in place. The Jim Crow laws in the South were policy back in the day.
I'm listening to you and I understand what you said, but I also just said that the IndyGo policy is you can't record, and I literally just said you guys can still record.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't saying that you didn't agree. Okay. I was just letting you know that even if they had a policy that said I couldn't record what you said they do, if they were to arrest me for violating their policy.
Oh, I understand.
I would take that to court and I would win.
It's the same way as, like, you know, some of these companies that say, hey, there's no loitering here.
Sure.
Well, it's a McDonald's, but it says no loitering. But is it against the law to loiter at, you know, a bus stop? Is it against the law to loiter outside of a homeless shelter?
Right.
No. So I mean, you really can't call us to come take care of a problem that's superficial. You know, we can't come out.
Because we can. You're in public.
There's a difference between rules and then laws. That's the way it is.
You're in public.
You're in public, man.
But
you have
I
no
got other things to do, so good luck to you guys. Stay safe. Like I said, try not
Well,
to
I respectfully decline your asking, your request.
Okay, and I'm respectfully asking you that you're okay
I know that.
understanding.
You know,
Man, you're in public. You have no expectation. Man, you have no expectation of privacy in public. You
People
leave
say,
your
"Oh,
house.
you're getting in their face," and
You
I
leave
say,
your
"My
house,
wife put
you're
your
in public.
titties in my
Okay.
face." When I'm this far away, I'm not in their
For the
face.
record, I can't comment on that.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. Good luck, man.
Are
I
you
hope
guys done?
Yeah, we walked through. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. Just going to do a little walkthrough here. And everybody else looked like they already did, but just wanted to finish my walkthrough since we had an encounter right away about it. Now they are still running with 7 days a week, and have now included more Saturday routes, and they're at free bus fare. So and this is Saturday, the 18th, 19th. About 1 o'clock. And of course you saw I'm out here with Rogue Nation. John Speedway joined us. And there's John Speedway there. He joined us, and then we're also with Indy News on the Streets. Is out here as well. Ma'am, I just suggest that you... So you're not going to talk to me now?
Because if I asked you a question and you asked your question, I respect your question, so I would want you to respect mine too. So if I asked you not to record...
We're doing a story.
Like, I don't understand it. I wasn't here.
Get over it. You're in public. I'd say get over it, dude. You're in public.
But I just, if you want somebody to respect you, I would want you to say...
But... Ma'am, if you're talking about us, you didn't respect us. You came up and tried to tell us we couldn't do anything. You told us we couldn't do anything. I suggest you go talk to your boss, John Nolan, and ask him about my lawsuit that I'm filing against your company. I suggest you go reread that policy from IndyGo, okay? And that was updated in 2017, okay? You don't care? You don't care? You're trying to enact a policy that you don't even know, ma'am. Have a good day. And see, you know what? With that attitude, ma'am, with that attitude, I'm going to come after your qualifications as well. Great attitude. I'll be calling John Nolan again and leave another voicemail that he won't return. Stupid. That's exactly the kind of leadership that Nolan Security has with their security guards. Ridiculous. Absolutely 100% ridiculous. 100%. Those people over there had problems with us filming, obviously. So anyway, we're headed out. We'll probably be doing another revisit here. Thought this one I was given, I talked to their public affairs officer, and he told me that we wouldn't have another problem down here. That's why we came back, to make sure that there was going to be no problem. Well, looks like we did. So, be on notice, IndyGo. We'll be back.